So when my husband and I were dating, every Saturday we would go to a different park. This one is just 10-minute walk from where I'm staying with my cousin. Look how beautiful. And so this is where we're exercising. If you find playground, you can wrap around your equipment and you can do all kinds of different things and have a really nice view. So hopefully I can motivate you to the day off, or early in the morning, or later at night when you finish work. Find a different park. Bring some bands, bring some weights. Who cares? There are people around here. I don't care. There are people exercising. They don't care. So you just do your own thing and find a really nice place to exercise. Next is biceps with this view. So this is the park where we're going to exercise today. It's a sunny day, but it has a nice little breeze, so it shouldn't be that bad. So today I'm starting with bands, just wrap around park equipment. Just doing some latissimus exercises, so your middle back, and just a few. You can make it hard or make it easier by just stepping forward or stepping back, how much resistance you want on those bands. And as you can see, they're tense the whole time. So I like to keep them tense so that I actually feel like I'm working out. All right, so as soon as I finish these, I'm just going to work the opposing muscle. The opposing muscle to the latissimus dorsi is, of course, the pectoralis major. So this is sort of like if you're doing push-ups, because you're contracting the muscle in the front every time you bring the arms forward. Now notice my elbows don't go behind my back. They just stay level with my body so that you don't get on the red zone of the shoulder. A lot of people end up with shoulder injuries, and I think it's because they overextend the joints at the shoulder. The shoulders are very intricate, so always, be careful with how you do things with your shoulders. So almost done with this one. And then I'm going to wrap around the band a little bit up higher. Pull downs work usually. This one wasn't high enough and straight up enough. But when you pull down and you push the elbows down, like I said, if it had been up like above my head more than forward, then it would have been a little better pull down. But this is supposed to work the upper back. This one is getting the elbows behind, but carefully so that you don't get on that red zone. It's not the same move as what we were doing before. This one is slightly different. This is more, it's not like rows, this is pull downs. That's just a slight difference with that. So I finished doing that. I should have done triceps a different way, because I love to do triceps a different way with these bands. But since I was a little upset yesterday, the day before, that I didn't get the triceps work with the whole extension, I decided I'm going to do them this way again. Next time I will do them my favorite way with bands. So I'll show you how those are done. These are pretty hard. Not that hard, I think they're harder than if I was using 10-pound dumbbells, definitely. So it's still pretty good exercise for the triceps. And again, my point here is not to get super buff. It's just to keep my muscles strong, and I don't look it, but I am actually pretty strong. So here what I'm doing is wrapping the band around the metal part above, so that I don't have to hold the band very hard. And then I'm wrapping it around my foot. And so it's creating some tension for these side leg lifts. So I'm not laying down, I'm not working against gravity, but I am working against the tension of the bands. I always like to work the glutes, the small glutes, because you work the big glutes every time you do squats and lunges and stuff like that. But you don't work the medius as much isolated as when you do side leg lifts of some sort. So here I'm just switching side, stepping on the band. So one hand holds it close up, and then the other one I put on my waist. So the band is actually pretty stretchy. I mean, pretty tense. Yeah, it's stretchy, but it's tense to lift on that side. You can play with the counts, you can do the counts like we do for 4s to 2s, whatever. I just decided to do singles, but really slow, not quite 2 2s, because 2 2s would be like 1 2 down down, and these ones were 1 down 2 down 3, but they were a little faster than if they had just been singles. Okay, wrapping the band around my waist just so that I don't put it on the floor, and just kicking back. This kick bat we kick bat exercise is actually pretty nice for your buns. Trying to keep the leg extended as much as possible. You don't have to lock the knee, and then just do some butt crunches there. Be careful with your lower back. Notice the shoulders are level. One shoulder is not higher than the other. I'm trying not to arch my back, but it's still a pretty nice exercise. I mean, after you do a few of these, you feel it. There's sequences you can follow. Because I don't have a mat and stuff, I'd rather not do sequences at a park. But anyway, so that was pretty nice. Almost done with those. And then just do a little stretch. And curve the back, drop the head. And then curve the other way, look up, and just come up. And then I thought, well, I don't like push-ups on the floor. These ones aren't as intense as if you were doing them on the floor. But again, these exercises are for adults that are just starting workouts. So I'm not going to be like totally intense here. But you're still working like if you were doing a push-up. It depends on the incline, of course. If you were in a plank and doing push-ups from a plank is the most difficult push-up you can do. But these ones work the same muscle, just with less intensity and a little different angle, but it's still working the chest muscles. This is what I have. Be creative, have fun and be creative. Little stretch on the shoulders. And then I'm gonna do some just squats, regular squats. I'm using the bar because it's like if you were doing it with a chair, like a chair exercise stuff. And I like this because you can go a little lower because you have the bar for balance. But you're still working the hamstrings and the buttocks when you're doing these squats. And there we have it. After I finish these ones, I change the angle on my legs. The exercise still focuses on the buttocks and the hamstrings, but it also focuses on the inner outer thighs. So pliés, squats, and these pliés, I don't open the feet all the way because my hips don't do that, but I try to follow my knees, follow the toes. So take a little look and see if your knees are with your toes. If your knees are pressed forward, you might end up with some knee pain. Always be mindful of where your knees are. And just like this, we're almost through with this. I was gonna leave the original voice on this next segment, but there were kids crying, there was water splattering, and there was a dog barking, so I decided not to. But all I'm telling you here is to keep hydrated. So make sure that you drink water during your workout. All right, my daughter's filming me here, so we were able to get the frame a little more centered than if I had put the camera on the floor or who knows where. And I'm just working out with the bunny. Look at that cute bunny. There's some biceps. Here you can decide how much tension you put on the bands by where you stand on them. If you don't want too much, you can just put 1 foot, and that would be a lot less tension. But important, try to keep the same amount of tension on both arms. You can separate the legs, and that would make it a little bit harder. So there's always options as to how much you want to do. Then we found this little gazebo, and we went, let's go and do in the shade some obliques that we didn't do the previous workout. So I did obliques. My daughter didn't want to get on the floor, so she did all kinds of other stuff. I wish I could have filmed her because she was doing awesome stuff. She's rolling her eyes at me right now. Anyway, so obliques, just lift, try to keep the elbow open, lift and crunch. Easy moves. Once you're done, you had enough of those, switch side. And just up and down, up and down. Exhale on the way up. Exhale. You know, usually people don't say inhale because to exhale, obviously you had to inhale first. So just exhale. Almost finished with these obliques. And then I'm just gonna do Pilates like a little bit, just leg extensions. It's beginner level. Well, if you really want a more beginner level, you can do just one leg first and then the other leg while keeping the knee bent and foot on the floor. Where I'm doing both, but as you can see, I'm not getting my legs close to the floor because that intensifies, and I don't want you to get discouraged if you can't do it right away. So keeping the legs up above the 45-degree angle sort of still works the lower abs. All right, there, just a few crunches. Controversial on crunches. Oh, don't do crunches. A lot of people will tell you, don't do crunches. You know, the truth is, it's movement, contraction. So yeah, sure, do some crunches. You're not gonna do 1,000. You're just gonna do about 20, maybe 25, maybe 50. I have a video where I did 500 abs. If you wanna go and look for it, I can do probably 500 of these, but nah, 20 is good enough. Finish that, thumbs up. All right, and then just like that, we finish the workout. I'm just gonna do some stretches here. I don't have any equipment whatsoever. Notice, no mat, no bars, no chair, nothing. You can exercise with nothing. You can do whatever you want. Just take a few inhales, exhales, stretch to one way, stretch the other way. Always breathe. Bend your knees, extend the knees, roll it up, Roll it down, hang the head, bend the knees straight forward, sit back, and then extend your legs. Exhale. Let's do a little yoga, why not? So one foot forward, the other one open to the side. This is just a triangle. Keep your chin away from your chest. See, my head is like an alignment with the leg that is straight on the side. So it's one line, head and leg. Bend the knee and then go down. And see, the head is still a little bit on alignment with the leg that is extended. Switch to the other side. Switch back. Come back to center. And then go down. Lift the leg. Just a little tiny stretch that is slightly different. Go into a runner's lounge. Keep the chest up, shoulders by your ears, spread out back. And then right there, push your hips towards the sky and extend the forward leg. Roll it up, breathe in. Roller shoulder, shoulder roll. Okay, let's do the other leg. So here we are, one foot to the front, one foot to the side. Arms open, triangle, head in alignment with your leg. Other way, head in alignment with the other leg. So in other words, don't hang your head, keep it up. Center, bend that knee and bring it down, arm up, breathe. As you exhale, switch side, hold and breathe. As you exhale, come back to center and open. Come on back. Shoulders to the side, alignment with the hips. Leg up in the sky. Extend the leg, runner's lounge. Push the shoulders back, chest up, stretch in the hip. Straight leg in the front. Your support leg is the bending one. That's where your hand is to support. Pushing the hips back towards the sky. And then roll it up slow. One more last big inhale. And as always, be happy, be good, and behave.